All right, that was the second match after the break, Solar Fleet and MIF. Of course, MIF, by the way, is not Ministry of Inappropriate Footwork.
No, that's a different MIF.
Yes. So what do we think about that one?
Well, we think that was two really terrible teams showing how to play Eve really badly.
That's very honest.
That's kind of harsh.
That is
Sorry.
extremely honest.
That's very harsh. Yes.
I'm not
But
good at sugarcoating.
These weren't probably the most effective uses. It wasn't the best Tinker we've seen in a while, but then it also is a team that did a lot of DPS from Solar, but didn't have any newts.
Yeah.
And a heavy newt would have swung this fight.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a nicer way to put that would be that these are both like close to kind of tournament standards, but they're missing really key elements that make them like full, good, legit teams. Like the MIF setup is missing support, and it's kind of weird just to have only 6 ships. And the Solar Fleet team is missing stuff like some kind of E-War to help disrupt, setups like the MIF setup. And so what you end up is a really bizarre situation where if either team would do something a little more sensible, it would look more normal. But I mean, they're close. Like the core is pretty on
The other thing
target,
that
I
they
guess.
could have done is bumping, which
Yeah.
they didn't seem to try to do, and the MIF guys with the battleships were just staying still. And these
Right.
Vindies, if they'd gone in and knocked them out of transfer range.
Yeah, there was 3 battleships sitting at 0 velocity for like the first 5 minutes of the match. So
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, so Solar Fleet, big alliance, lots of members, lots of money, lots of tournament experience. Why are they not better?
But I can't think of a single time where they've actually done like markedly well in the tournament.
But that's what I mean. Why? I mean, they must have all the components.
I
They
think
have
it has to
FCs,
come down
They
to-
have members. They have money.
I think. Go ahead.
Well, it seems to me like it's easy to be like, why don't they just try, kind of like good teams?
Why aren't they better?
But like the good teams that are like trying a little bit and doing really well, like PL or plenty of other really good teams, are actually trying insanely hard. They're practicing for hours and hours and hours every weekend and studying really hard and like spending tons of time on this, and it's just not like
think
I
this is
believe
two
that they
teams that
actually
just-
tried.
They
It's
were
just,
doing their best, but didn't want to put that kind of effort into it. Just wanted to have some fun and do their as far as they can.
Running a tournament team does take a lot
Yes.
of motivation, and there's so much like political crap going on behind the scenes. It's not fun. Like it's fun when things are running smooth, but like
being in the tournament not fun.
no, being in a tournament's a lot of fun when you're successful and
But it's
if
very
you're
stressful.
learning.
Yeah.
It's
But
very, very
yeah,
stressful.
I mean, you're talking last year with the Rocapel team. I was practicing 2 nights during the week and 1 night during the weekend with
That's all? Wow.
different. And it's not that much, but when you figure we're going like 4 hours at a stretch, it's a lot. I mean, we practice. It's a lot of man hours. But there's so many good outlets for teams that really want to improve how they are. Watching the Alliance tournament, previous Alliance tournaments, get in the SCLs just so you can get your, if nothing else, it's not a transferable format. It's 8-man versus 12-man. But it gets you the piloting experience. It gets your mind in the right place as far as theory crafting. So there's ways that if you want to put in the effort and you have the motivation, that you can be better. Especially when we're coming into week 3 and we've already seen 20-some good setups. And then we see something like that, which is a halfway passable Tinker.
Are we out of time?
No, I don't
Oh,
believe so.
great. Well, I was gonna say like.
Sorry, I did
It's-
ramble there.
No, I think that's an interesting example of, or what you just said is exactly what's hard. Like, you've seen a bunch of good setups. They brought a kind of good setup. Like, the ships they chose are actually pretty close.
But
Solar
missed.
Fleet
But
did,
there's
yeah.
so many things in the details for the fits and the execution and the FCing, whatever, that it's very easy to take like, oh, we've seen other people run a couple of indicators and some support ships and do pretty well. We can do that too. We'll practice it once or twice. Like, you're so far away from teams
Yeah, it
that
comes down
actually,
to practice.
yeah, yeah.
If you run it enough, and the way that I think the best teams are doing it is they're taking different setups they're running either themselves or with another alliance, and actually trying to beat the other setup,
Right.
trying to refine their setups and beat them, having that kind of internal competition. That's the kind of thing that really drives you to have better setups.
Well, the evolution of practices, in my opinion, is first stage you've got theory crafting. Let's come up with a good setup. And then once you have that good setup, it's not about winning or losing whoever you're against in practice. It's about figuring out what's good and what's bad. Once you know what's good, then you start refining it. You say, these are the tactics that we need. This is how we beat X comp. This is how we beat Y comp. And that's when you start realizing, well, we need newts here, or else if we come up against a Tinker, we're always going to lose.
For me, it was kind of always about winning. that can get kind of destructive, but it's also super fun when it's just like, what I really care about is I built this team, and I'm going to make this team win.
The other thing you can do is you can email me for advice or setups and fittings.
Can I do that?
You can, but I mean...
I've been going wrong this whole time.
That's how the good teams do it these days. Anywho, we are coming up on the next match. It's Heretic Initiative versus Confederation of XX Pizza XX. Who's going to win?
Oh, I'm gonna go with pizza. I love pizza.
I really want to see Heretic Nation, Heretic Army, whatever iteration they're in now. I really want them to do well at least once. It seems like all of the like big low sec alliances just never do well in the tournaments.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for them to pull one out.
I hope they lose. Go pizza.
Yeah, I hope Pizza's going to win as well. Let's see.